Neil Foster is looking to talk to us about a very exciting business that he's running since 2014. Talk us through it. I know you're really enthusiastic. What's the innovation behind it and what are we talking about?
Perfect, thank you. So I'm Neil Foster, I'm from Neuritas. Neuritas is a small startup business from Dublin, Ireland, where we're very excited to talk to people is about using artificial intelligence and DNA analysis to data mine molecules, specifically peptides, out of food products. And it's really something quite new and very exciting.
So AI and food isn't something that I would normally put together. Are you at the forefront of teaming these two technologies, so to speak?
Absolutely, we really think we're the first doing this. Our founder, Nora Cowdy, who has done several great TED Talks and is really worth looking up online, is a mathematician by background, also a computational biologist. This is quite an interesting mix, and when she came across the world of food, she was staggered by how much information is out there in terms of the DNA, the sequencing that's been done, but how few people are actually really looking into that data to find these molecules, which traditionally would have been the realm of pharma companies because they were so labor intensive and expensive to find. Taking a big data mathematics approach, we're able to find them far quicker than anyone else. We're able to therefore find them far more cost effectively than anyone else. But also we take a receptor target based model, so we're also highly accurate. And that means our precision of finding things moves from a 0.1% in the traditional pharma model to a 500% increase for finding these molecules in food.
That's incredible. That's very impressive. So how does it actually work and how are we going to see an impact changing the food industry from you guys?
Perfect. So we take a receptor-based approach. So we target a pathway, a gene that we want to upregulate or downregulate, or a known receptor in the body. And then we collect all the publications in that area and look to create a bunch of algorithms that will predict peptides that are going to have a positive influence on that receptor. So really, in a nutshell, we have a marketing-driven consumer goods company who comes to us, they say that we see a white space in this area, there's a consumer need or there's a health concern that needs to be addressed. We want to focus on this receptor, this pathway, this gene. Can you predict us and discover us a peptide within a nice, inexpensive, readily available food source or even food byproduct that we can use to target that side. So then everything gets fed into our prediction software and we come out with a number of candidates and then we move through into our wet lab to scientifically validate that the peptides that we've fully characterized and predict are going to have the effect that we desire them to have. And the good news is that for every 2 peptides that we predict, one of them is successful. So it's a 50% success rate. That is a kind of really revolutionary and highly disruptive in this area where new molecule discovery is a very long, hard game, and unfortunately the results are not always very reliable.
Well, it's very interesting. How is the typical consumer going to notice any differences?
So it's a good question. Firstly, we think we can bring forward functional food ingredients that will reinvigorate the functional food category. Because our peptides are fully characterized, we have a nice pathway to going through to EFSA Article 13.5 claims, so we can actually make sure we can communicate something effective on pack. On that line, we've already received a grant for a successful Horizon 2020 project submission, which is to take one of our first discoveries, a peptide for blood glucose transport, through to an Article 13.5 health claim for pre-diabetes. And we've got the funds there in place to do a round of 3 human clinical intervention trials to prove that. So firstly, we're going to make sure that things can be said on product and will be useful from that side. But also it's important our ingredients are from traditional foods. They're peptides that are locked within the parent protein structure. And that's really important because we're not bringing a new novel food product which takes a lot of regulatory understanding to get through. We're not bringing a product that's not sustainable in its supply, a Himalayan blueberry that's very rare and difficult to get to and has a negative effect. We can look within everyday food cereal staples, things like rice, wheat, corn, potatoes to find things, rather than looking in kind of weird and wacky and more exotic materials.
That's great. Well, your enthusiasm was very contagious. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.